Hey Flosstube, it's Emer. Today is the 4th of November and this is a video about cross stitching. If you are a subscriber of my channel, that should come as no surprise to you. My name is the Irish Stitcher. Surprise, surprise, I'm talking about stitching. I actually have a decent amount to show you all today, despite something happening, which I'm going to get into now, I suppose. First of all, I'm going to show you my progress on my standard first whip. This is the Peppermint Purple Black Work Stitch Along. This was week 44, if I am correct. I'm down in the greens. So last week's pattern was this one, with the really cool diagonals, and I loved it. And then this week's is this one. And I guess it's just a little bit more plain compared to some of the other really cool pieces, like that one with the Celtic knots. Gave me so much trouble and took me so long to stitch. This one was like 10 minutes. I'm like, done. And if you've been watching me for a while, you will know that the past couple of videos I have sworn I will start in the border. And as you can see, I have made the tiniest start. I actually had to frog that because first I stitched 2020 and then I stitched 2022. What year is it? When am I? Where am I? The reason why, and I actually have a very good excuse this time for not having done much in the border, is that I hurt my hand. Probably from too much stitching. Just there was really, really sore, especially whenever I made the motion to like pinch the needle and push it through. Even now I can still feel it a little bit tender, so I actually had to get a thumb brace. So my thumb was like properly immobilized. I could not stitch for about a week, and then kind of even a couple of days after that it's been a little tender. So yesterday I actually had to catch up on the 2 weeks of my black work, and then I just got started on the top of the border. But from next week onwards, I should be good to go with the border. I've opted to do the 2021 in black, but I think I'm going to do the ivy and leaves in the matching colours of the black work. And again, this piece just makes me so happy. My partner, he asks every week, like, oh, what was the what was the piece? And he has an opinion on every square, which is actually really nice. But I just love, even from a distance, you can't see the detail, but you can see that color gradient. It's so pretty. I'm really, really pleased. Like, I didn't, obviously when I started it in the first week of January 2021, I hoped I'd keep up with it. Like, we all hope we'll keep up with Stitch Along. We hope we'll finish pieces sometime. But I don't know how certain I was that I would keep up with this every week, and that the colors I picked almost an entire year ago would look fantastic, and that I'd still be so happy with this piece. Yeah. Peppermint Purple Black Work Stitch Along. It is a free stitch along. You can still join on the Facebook page, and I believe the pattern will be taken down at the end of 2021 and put up as a paid pattern. I think, check the page if you want to know. So back in September, I actually started this piece, Hunter Gatherer by Rosewood Manor, and my plan was to work on it for the month of September for the hashtag Sampler September. And I recall saying at the time my plan was to work on this piece. And basically just see where it took me. I was using mostly DMC. I have a couple of the Weeks Dye Works. I actually did purchase the Weeks Dye Works for the dog and for the deer, stag, whatever it is. And I was like, look, whatever happens, happens. I got really into it. I really enjoyed this piece. Ta-da! I am delighted with how this looks. I didn't put any more work in it once September had finished. I'm going to fold it over to give you a better look of that corner motif, which is just beautiful, isn't it? Oh, I love it. And then I hadn't thought I'd get that corner finished, so then once I was able to move over here, this was honestly a nice treat. And there's a couple of shades of green, and I was doing, I was like, can I not just like use 2 shades instead of 4? And I probably could, but like there's 3 shades of green in these leaves, and I like the effect. I'm happy I've done it. The colors are just beautiful. They make me really happy, and I was honestly quite reluctant to put this down at the end of September, but I wanted to get my Baba Yaga done, so that's why I had stopped. Something else I had hoped to get done in October was the if you're reading this, you're blissfully unaware of what is creeping up behind you. My order from 123 Stitch has not arrived. I ordered it in like the first, maybe second week of September. I did contact them. They said they've been having trouble shipping it. No, I ordered this either early September or end of August, because as of the 15th of September it had left the US, and they basically said that they don't track it once it leaves the US. So I don't know. But basically, if it hasn't arrived by the middle of this month, they are going to give me a refund. They said they wouldn't ship it out again just because shipping's been really bad. And I'd ordered a couple of patterns, and I was really disappointed. Actually, I'm really disappointed that it hasn't arrived, because obviously I'd hoped to work on that piece for October, but like, I've been waiting a while, and this isn't 123 Stitch's problem, and it's honestly probably not the postal system's fault either. Like, everything's just a little more difficult now, but I would like to be disappointed. And I really hope it arrives. I'll get a refund if it doesn't come, but will I reorder? I don't know. Probably not, which is disappointing because I want those patterns, like that the Princess Dragon Dreams one. Like, that was out of stock for ages, and that was honestly the reason for the order, because I'd seen it come back in stock, and I was like, oh, I've been waiting for this. But anyway, I started a new start on Sunday, and according to Pattern Keeper, I am over halfway done with it already. So it's quite a small piece. But here it is. I have been watching She-Ra and the Princesses of Power on Netflix, and I didn't expect to like it so much. I had watched kind of a filler episode, like a non-plot essential episode of a later season with my housemate like a year ago. I knew it was pleasant, but like, I wasn't invested in the characters because I didn't know who they were. I was like, okay, cool. But I had just finished watching The Legend of Korra, part of the Avatar, The Last Airbender series, with my partner, and I was like, oh, I really want like an animated series in a like fantasy world that is not necessarily for kids, but is like, I don't know, I found a lot of like aimed at adults cartoon on Netflix, or like A, really ugly looking, and B, they're like, crude humor is peak comedy, and I'm like, okay, I'm not saying it's never funny, but I'm like, no, I want something like a little bit wholesome. And I started She-Ra, and you can tell I've liked it so much that I've started it. I have no idea what this fabric is. It was a scrap piece of fabric. I think it was a freebie from an order I'd made, but like, this was the size of it. And I think it's 32 count. I haven't counted, but it feels like it. I'll put in a picture here of what she will look like when she's finished. She's holding a pride flag, which persuade me. It's really cool, like silhouette of She-Ra. She's holding the pride flag. The cartoon is very like pride friendly. I love it. Such a nice, pleasant cartoon. And if you're looking for something to watch, it is appropriate for kids. But you know, there's enough to interest adult viewers in it as well. Okay, back to my whips. This one is the Welcome Winter piece. It's quite long, so I'm just trying to bundle it up in such a way that you can see the whole thing. Ta-da! This was the piece that hurt my hand. I was going hell for leather on this piece. I was just determined. I was a woman on a mission. Um, it looks so good. I've actually ordered the foam core, and that arrived to frame it. It's quite thick, and I'd hoped to kind of get a blue-ish frame, kind of like a dusty blue. And there are frames, the same side I ordered, actually the frame for the wedding piece has some lovely blue frames. So I was like, look, what's your depth? Because my foam core is quite deep, and I'd either have to maybe forego the glass, which I don't love the idea of. I'd like to protect it, especially as it's a piece that will be in storage. Forego the glass, or maybe buy my own clamps that I could like screw onto the frame and kind of sandwich that in. I've emailed them asking for the depths of their frames. They kind of didn't give me a number, but they just said, look, you might want our, I think it's like a shadow box style frame to allow for the depth. I don't want something mega deep, but maybe if I could find like a thick regular photo frame or a slim shadow box frame, it would fit all right. I still haven't decided. I think I mentioned my original plan was this just twice, once for the in-laws and once for myself. I'll see how it goes. It is coming together quite fast, although that might be that I was just stitching with enough frequency to injure myself. I don't know. I'm in love with the fabric. Yeah, I don't know. I'm properly like in gear for winter stitching at the moment, and it's funny because my autumn stitching kind of lasted not very long. I guess I finished Baba Yaga in October. What was it? Because here in Ireland we say that winter starts in November, and winter is November, December, January, and then we take the 1st of February, so Bridget's Day or Imbolc, as the start of spring, even though February is still freezing, and that weird like setup means that August is in autumn. I don't know. February's a weird month, and August is summer, but that's not how I learned it in school. I don't know. We'd have to be awkward. Another start I had recently. I think I'm actually lacking the picture of the finished piece, but that's okay because I have the actual finished piece to show you. This is Little Lamb by Mill Hill. It is the cutest. Look at those beads. The beads add such texture. I am in love, and little bell is so cute. I've bought like an ivory felt to back all my Christmas ornaments. I was undecided if I was going to make this one a magnet, like the kit suggests, or hang it. Oh, I definitely think I'm hanging it up. I found some gold metallic thread that I got in a magazine as a freebie once. I'm like, perfect. Shiny, it looked like a Christmas decoration. So cute. And speaking of Mill Hills, I made a start in this one, and this was one of the pieces that I had started and then became a casualty of my poor thumb. It actually made decent progress. This is Peace by Mill Hill. If I remember correctly, my intention was to fill in all that kind of cream, and then that should be everything before the beads, which is grand. And I will get back to that on Monday for Mill Hill Mondays. They come together so quickly. The sheep came together incredibly quickly. I think in part due to the Smyrna stitches taking up like the space of 4 cross stitches, but being much quicker to complete. And then the beads were all half stitches to attach. So again, that was a lot quicker. Yeah. Really pleased with how these Mill Hill kits are going. My partner has started his. I bought him pumpkin kittens. I don't know if that's the name, and then like a one with the gravestone and some ravens. And he started the one with the gravestone. He hasn't gotten terribly far, but he's done a little bit. I don't know if you've ever watched CGP Grey videos, but he has a really interesting video. I swear this was related, on the idea of themes as an alternative to resolutions. So instead of, oh, I'm going to make a resolution to get fit, like that's a really nebulous goal. Like what does that mean exactly? Whereas he sets a theme of, again, this might be a theme of health or exercise or something, and he takes the idea that whenever he comes to a decision, like, what do I do with my time, if you're on that year of health, or doing the theme of health, the season of health maybe, and you might go, okay, well, I'm gonna have a salad instead of a burger. And the idea is that small changes put you in the direction you want to go. And it's okay if sometimes you don't make a decision that's in line with the theme. Sometimes you don't want to, sometimes you can't. Like, but the idea is that over time, these small decisions will push you in the direction you want to go. So my partner is doing a theme of words and colours. So he's been reading a lot more. I think he's consumed something like 11 novels and novellas, short novels, in the past month, something insane like that. And colour, meaning he has some like miniature gaming models, so he's been painting those, and then the stitching has fallen into the colour as well. So it's kind of a case of he's waiting for this coat of paint to dry, so he'll like wash his hands of the paint and then pick up his stitching. I think it's really cool. I've been trying to think of my own theme for the winter. And I'm not sure, but it's mostly just been a lot of stitching. I've been reading a little bit, but mostly stitching. And that was why it was, when I hurt my hand, I was like, what do I do? Like, and I was sitting there thinking, oh, I could crochet. And I was like, oh, no, I can't. Like, I'm not a massive TV person. So I can't spend a whole evening watching TV. It was like, what do I do with myself? I enjoy video games, but like, again, that normally needs a hand or a thumb, or so I was like, I don't know. I guess I'll stare into space. No, I didn't stare into space, I swear. That is all for my whips, I believe. You saw finished, you saw mostly finished. You saw the stitching finished on the sheep, and I have to fully finish it. My plan for the coming month, continue on with the black work, continue stitching that on Wednesdays, and whenever I finish the block on that Wednesday, I will make a start on the border. I will finish Shira. I'm going to finish that in like a week. I'm over halfway there already. I will work on my Mill Hill kits on Mondays. I think that's a nice pace. I don't have a ton of them, but I should get the few ornaments that I have done finished for Christmas. I'm going to work on Welcome. It's coming together quite quickly. It is only 30 stitches tall, long, but like I've got most of the, I think I've got the COME part is mostly finished. I think I have to stitch the snow and the Christmas tree on the end. And so I've basically got 3.5 letters plus back stitching to do. I'll get that finished before December, I think, to be honest. And while I'm in the mood for winter stitching, I know I said that this pattern, that Emma Compton Santa in his sleigh pattern, was the reason why I bought the book. There are so many beautiful patterns in it. For example, I've just opened the page on these really cool like beaded chandeliers. The camera, I don't think, is doing them justice. And I honestly don't think the pictures in the magazine are doing them justice either, because they're stitched in metallics with beads. I'm like, oh, those are going to be shiny. They'd be so pretty. There are some patterns which aren't my style, but then there are a great many that are. And the nice, look at these. These are by Fiona Baker. Lovely beaded Christmas ornaments on perforated paper. It's really pretty. There's lots of, look at red work. So pretty. Like, I think our Christmas tree theme, like our colour scheme is going to be like kind of golds and silvers, quite like neutral tones. but I'm just really feeling little Christmassy stitches. Yeah, what I wanted to show you and what I actually have materials for is this. Oh, it is Joy by Doreen Jones. Pattern's available on Etsy, and I'm assuming the magazine must own this picture because the picture on her Etsy shop is a digital mock-up of like a white background and green thread, and it doesn't look half as nice as this does. So I have, this recommends 28 count casual raw linen, and you frame it in like a 12-inch hoop. I have mushroom Lugana 32 count, so it'll be smaller, maybe 9 inches, 10 inches. And I don't yet know how I'll frame it, possibly in a hoop, possibly in a frame. I, however, am making the bold and possibly foolish decision to stitch this entirely in metallics. I have the DMC Light Effects. It's the white. It's basically like a silvery white. And I think it looks stunning. But I've never used metallics before. I might have done like a couple of stitches in them. I certainly haven't done like the magazine estimates this will be 25 hours. Turn that up to 50 for metallics because you have to use such a short length and to be so delicate with it, or it knots and it frays, and I feel like I'm talking myself out of it, but no, I really want to do this piece. It's so beautiful. It's so delicate looking. And honestly, I think that the delicateness comes from the colours. Yeah. This magazine for 50p was like the best purchase I've ever made. I also actually, while I have it out, is this pattern I'm very enamoured with. I'm not going to find it now easily, can I? Bear with me. What are you stitching for Christmas? Do you make ornaments? Also, when do you put up your Christmas tree? We're thinking like end of November, which I'm like, that seems reasonable, but you still get kind of a month and a half-ish out of your tree. Like the clocks went back here on Sunday and it is dark. Do not like it. But I do love the effects of like fairy lights in the dark. I feel so basic, but I love it. Anyway, this is the pattern I was talking about. They're little Scotty dogs. I can't decide on a favourite, but it might be the one that's holding a present, or the one that's like begging, or the one that's sort of sad. They're so cute. I don't own like a little terrier dog. They're Westies and Scotties, and they're so cute. If I can think of someone who has a dog like that I might stitch a pattern for them. Do like a little one and be like, look, it's your dog. Yeah, this book has just so many enticing patterns. Like, look at this. Look at it. It's not Elsa, like it's legally not Elsa, but it's definitely based on like, it's the Snow Queen, and like Frozen was based on the Snow Queen, and yeah, it doesn't mention Frozen, but like it's totally, oh, it does. It's from Hans Christian Andersen's original tale of Disney's Frozen. I've always loved the story of the Snow Queen. This book, I'm telling you, if you can get your hands on Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas 2018, do it. And I will be looking out for 2021 because it's got so many great patterns. And it's so rare that a magazine has so many patterns that I want to stitch. Usually there's a couple of nice ones, and that's generally what I've bought the magazine for. And then there's plenty that I'm like, that's nice, but very much not my style. It's just so much good stuff in it, and it's really getting me into the Christmas spirit. I can't wait. I can't wait for Christmas. I love Christmas. We had a kind of couple of crap Christmases a few years back, but in recent years, Christmas with my family has just been really, really lovely and cozy and quite low key, but genuinely just so enjoyable, and I can't wait for Christmas. Anyway, I know I kind of said it half jokingly earlier, but please let me know if you're started stitching for Christmas, what you're stitching, or any other holidays around this time of year. There's plenty of them. Just because Christmas is the one I celebrate, you might celebrate something different. Right. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.